The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Hello and welcome to a special bonus episode of Dear Download, a podcast where we get to share our most intimate and treasured memories of Download Festival. We'll talk about each year, the bands we saw, the bands we missed, and everything else noteworthy that happened across the weekend. Also, we'll touch upon any news, other festivals, and the music industry past, present and future. So as I said, this is a special bonus episode. We're releasing it out of sync with the rest of our episodes, I guess, and it's not going to be anywhere near as long because we've been asked to talk about and play the brand new single that's coming out from In Search of Sun. So, as per usual, I'm Adam and I'm here with Simon. How you doing, man?
Hello, good day, sir. Good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. As this is a shorter episode, really quickly, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm buzzing that we've been asked to do this, which is something very cool.
Yeah, me too. Oh, just really quickly, because you said at the beginning of the last episode, I too have, what did you say? The coved?
The coved.
I too now have the cov.
If we say the other word, it might get monetized. So we can't mention that we've got the coved. So now we've both got the coved. It passed through the microphone from me to Adam, and now he's got it as well. There you go. Look, put that up. Cov can now travel across the internet. So prepare yourselves.
There's idiots out there that will believe that.
I've already got my foil hat on over it.
Yeah, tin foil hat,
and the Earth's flat.
And yes. Have you heard? No, no. Let's do it. Have you heard of Last Thursdayism?
No. What the hell is that?
No. Oh, no. Well, it's where you believe the world was made last Thursday. Always last Thursday. So on Friday, it would have been made tomorrow. Because we're recording this on Wednesday, by the way. Yeah, good theory.
Okay, I'm going to read up on that after. That's just, my mind stopped working. The cogs stopped when you said that everything. I didn't quite understand. So I'll look at that after.
Another thing that's never come up, actually, is I'm actually a pastafarian. A pastafarian.
Pastafarian? What the hell is that?
Oh, come on, man. All right, let's talk about In Search of Sun. Come on. You've disappointed me enough for one night.
Okay, let's talk In Search of Sun.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Okay, right. I'll take over from Adam now. We got some stuff to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about In Search of Sun, a little bit about the band. Then we're going to play the brand new track. And then afterwards, we're going to discuss it, which is awesome. This is something we really, really hope that other bands do with us in the future, because this is really cool that we know that we've had Adam Leader, the frontman, on the podcast before, and he's just been great. That episode, if you want to know more about In Search of Sun and some very cool stories, go back and listen to, what episode is it? Episode 3, maybe?
4,
or 4?
Episode 4.
Episode 4, which was 4 siders and an Adam Leader. Go and listen to that. Some very cool stories about them playing Download and playing Download France as well. So let's start. So yes, we've been blessed to play the new single. So it's called The Fire I Play With. So before we get to that, a little bit about the band. Okay, so we've talked about this before. They've racked up now an impressive 40,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, which is no mean feat, believe me. That is very, very cool. I know the guys have been working their socks off for a number of years now to try and get that up. But also, if you go over to YouTube, they've got some absolutely sick music videos. They really do. They're incredible. So they've just got countless views on both. So as I say, there's such a good up-and-coming band, and things are only going to get better from them for now, really. So we've actually got a few comments from Adam Leader as well, describing what the new song is about. So I'll read those out just before we play the track. So
nice.
Just his little thing to say, what the meaning behind the track is, which is pretty cool. So a little bit of history on the band. So they released their first album, The World Is Yours, in 2014. And straight away, people just recognised how good they were. They were on VH1's 15 metal bands you should be listening to in 2015,
Nice.
literally after releasing their first album. And that's when you've got something and you're getting somewhere. Obviously, in 2016, they played Download, which we've talked to Leader about in the other podcast, which is awesome. I was there for it right at the front. It was absolutely incredible. These guys looked literally like the happiest people I've ever seen playing Download. Like, that thing where you're in like a band and you've got to look like, yeah. I swear to God, they all just had smiles on their faces the whole time because they were just like, fucking Download. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'd be smiling from ear to ear, even if I was in like the most disgusting death metal or fucking goth where I was just covered in like makeup worshipping Satan. I would still be grinning from ear to ear if I played Download. So I totally understand it. Like, you would though, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
you'd be buzzing. You'd be buzzing. Actually, do you know what? I'll say this now. I think if I ever get to play Download Festival, I probably would have a little cry. Maybe before or after. I'm not quite sure which one it would be.
Yeah.
But it might get emotional. So the guys played Download in 2016. And obviously, on that time, they were kind of on a momentum run. And they actually got signed by Spine Farm Records, which is a huge record label. And they were snapped up so quickly, really not long after they'd played that festival. I don't know if those two had anything to do with each other. We didn't speak to Leader about that last time, but I wouldn't be surprised. We've talked on the podcast before about talking to bands how much playing Download Festival as a small band actually affects your sort of output afterwards.
Yeah.
Which is always an interesting conversation, isn't it? Because it's like, do you play Download? Does it actually make a difference? Like,
yeah.
Does it do anything? Playing Download's great and it's a great thing to have on your CV. I mean, you don't have to, run up the stage every year. You could always come back and play in the same stage again. But that is an interesting concept. So we'll talk more about that, won't we, in the future, really?
Yeah. Well, I think one interesting thing that Adam Leader said on the episode, I'm not going to go too much into it. If you want to listen to it, go back and listen to it. But yeah, he did say they took their own cameras and got, I think was it pro shots?
Yeah, proper pro shots, yeah.
I think they said 4 of the songs which they intended to use for the future to sort of give to record labels.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an amazing intuition. A lot of people would just go, fuck, we're playing Download. Let's hope there's people there that will see us and go, well, we want you, instead of going, let's take what we have from here to somebody else.
Yeah, that's a fucking great idea. Yeah, I would definitely do the same. I think you should, especially if you're playing like a festival like that. Yeah, like load the whole fucking place up with camera. I know you haven't got long as a small band, they get you on and you're off. That's it. You know what I mean? You don't have time to hang around. But if you're really prepared, you could make something happen, couldn't you, really?
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah. So they were snapped up by the label in early 2017, and then their sophomore album, Virgin Funk Mother, was released in October 2017. Now, just looking at the list, and this isn't a list of bands they've played with, because they've played on the same stage as like Bullet and Funeral and like a shitload of bands. But the names that they've supported is insane. So Jonathan Davis, which is crazy, 12 Foot Ninja, Nothing More, and John 5. They're like the big names that they've supported, and they've probably supported more than that. These are just the ones that I could remember and find that these guys have supported. But I mean, to accomplish all that stuff in such a short space of time from releasing your first album is crazy. It's insane, to come up so much. And it's just great to see a smaller British band sort of, they've worked their socks off. They've put in the time. They've played the gigs. They've spoken to the right people, played with the right bands. But it is nice to see that work still pays off. And, bands aren't just doing this in vain. You can, if you want to work for it, you can accomplish great things if you're all in it. I know being in a band is like being in a 5-way relationship and it's a nightmare. But if you can keep everyone together and make some good music at the same time, you can do amazing things. Yeah. So coming up to recent, in 2020, they released the song Rhythm, which personally is literally my top 2 songs from them. It's insane. And the video is fucking amazing as well. They're all like covered in like paint, like glow in the dark paint, and the rest of the screen is like black, so you can only see certain parts of that outline. It's fucking amazing. So definitely go and check out their videos, because you won't regret it. You'll be watching them for ages, trust me. Yeah, so that's just a bit of history about them and about who they are and about why we're so excited that we've been asked to play their new track, because these guys are fucking awesome. And we're not just saying it because they've asked us to. We thought they were awesome before. So it's like, fucking yes. Do you know what I mean? Like, we talk about them quite a lot on the podcast, really. We talk about Leader a lot. Anyway, Adam Leader, the frontman, if you don't know who we're talking about. Because so much shit is connected to these guys. They've just got their fingers in all the right pies at the moment, and they're doing all the right stuff. So we're like buzzing to play this track for you. So is there anything you want to go into, dude, before we go to Leader's comments about the track?
I think so. I think it's good that you have done all that, got everything. I hope people find that interesting, that where they've been and everything. It's something I've said briefly before, but it still stands. Like knowing the ins and outs of something, knowing like the band, or getting to know a bit of a history about it. Like even if it's not your kind of music, listening to it, you would then sort of go, oh, okay, this is interesting. The same as I said about films last episode. Like if you could watch a film and you'll go, this is rubbish, but if like every film has a lot of work put into it. So if you know what kind of work was put into it, then you appreciate it more. And it's the same with music. I guess that's why sob stories worked so much in bloody X Factor and
it's true though. Yeah, it's true. But you're right about the work thing, because if anyone who has anything to do with the movie industry, and this relates to music as well, will tell you that it's a miracle that any film gets made.
Yeah.
And let alone it being a good movie or a great movie, even more than that. And it's the same with music. If you go and watch any documentary about bands in the studio and, how much stuff is going on, even with the small bands, it is like being in a relationship. You've got so many different people, so many different things going on. It's a miracle that you can get something out of it that's actually really good. So, bands, especially like these guys, they put a hell of a lot of work into their music. Like, a lot of pain and, sweat and tears goes into making these sorts of tunes. And you're right. I think when people know that, they go, do you know what? I'm going to step back, and even if it's not my thing, I'm going to appreciate this a little bit more.
Absolutely.
So spot on with that.
Awesome.
Anything else you want to go into, dude?
No. I think we should...
Okay, I'll go into... So Adam Leader, the frontman of In Search of Sun, gave me this to read out. Now this is some deep context right here. This song's got some deep meaning.
I messaged Adam Leader yesterday actually just to check the timing of when it was coming out exactly, so I can set this to release at exactly the same time, or maybe an hour later. Something like, I don't know. And I was going to ask him about this kind of thing, but I felt dirty if asking him and not you asking him. So
that's fine.
I'm glad you got this.
Yeah. So this is deep. So I'm going to read this out.
Friend's girl or something. There you go, behind your back to speak to the other leader.
Yeah, go behind my back to speak to people. Hey, listen, it's fine. Friend of the podcast. It's all good. Podcast? What's a podcast?
Pondcast.
It's not a pondcast.
It's like when you go fishing in a pond.
Yeah, pondcast. Right, so
sorry,
it's all right. We're going totally off,
and I'll keep fucking it up.
We're gonna take it in a whole different direction now. So this is what Adam Leader has to say about the track. So we spend our lives continuously setting the bar of career and financial success to unobtainable heights, which can be dangerous because it's incredibly easy to lose sight of what actually makes all the difference: friendship and the beauty of the world we live in. It's too easy to take for granted the happiness right before our eyes, in the shadow of our own pursuit of material fulfillment. And suddenly that time is short and the world has come to an end, but that realization can often come a little too late. So this song does have some very meaningful concept. And just, think a little bit about that while you listen to the track. So shall we give it to him, dude?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so here you go. Here is the brand new single from In Search of Sun. The Fire I Play With. Take it away, boys.
Yeah, I know you wanna be the fire I play with. Yeah, I know you wanna be the fire I play with. Smoking lights, collects to grow within this endless night. My head feels heavy, I tear my brain out. My words stay buried all this time, so scared I scream out. Yeah, I know you wanna be the fire I play with. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you wanna be the fire I play with. Fire I play with. I'm running, spit my venom on the floor. I just wanna get my honey, something blessed on my mind. With the lows, the highs, the love, the hurt, the lullaby. My head felt heavy, and I've torn my shame out, and my words were buried. All those times I swore I'd break out. Yeah, I know you wanna be the fire I play with. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you wanna be the fire I play with. Fire I play with. Yeah, I know you wanna be the fire I play with. Yeah, I know you wanna be the fire I play with. Fire I play with. With the lows, the highs, the love, the hurt, the lullaby. With the lows, the highs, the love, the hurt, the lullaby. With the lows, the highs, the love, the hurt, the lullaby. With the lows, the highs, the love, the hurt, the lullaby. With the lows, the highs, the love, the hurt, the lullaby. With the lows, the highs, the love, the hurt, the lullaby. Yeah, I know you wanna be the fire I play with. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you wanna be the fire I play with. Fire I play with. Yeah, I know you wanna be the fire I play with. Yeah, I know you wanna be the fire I play with. Fire I play with. Oh, the fire I play with. With the lows, the highs, the love, the hurt, the lullaby.
Okay, and there you go. So that was the new single. So by the time this podcast comes out, the song will already be out as well, and the video, as we understand. And let's just say I've had a little sneak peek at the video, a little insider log, and I'll just say that the music video is pretty fucking cool as well. So I won't say any more than that. But yeah, definitely go and check it out. Another thing that's worth a watch. But yeah, it's a great song. You know, we listened to it together just now again, and we were just, you know, bopping our heads. It's awesome. It's if you listen to this band and you listen to them from the first album to now, these guys aren't afraid to sort of change stuff as they go, and it still sounds like them, but they've also added, like, I know Lead has been doing a lot of harmonies, but there's a lot more harmonies front and center on this one, and also there's a little electronic element as well.
I did quite like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've had, I think they've had that subtly and stuff before, but it's not been so much at the forefront. So like I said, these guys just, you know, they'll do whatever sounds good, and that's the kind of what the best bands are. You know, like all their stuff still sounds like them, but you won't just listen to a song and just go, oh, well, that just sounds the same as the last one. All their tracks have their own sort of sound and dimensions, which is something that I've always really liked about them. So it's just awesome to be able to have this played on our our little podcast. Do you know what I mean?
It's
like,
amazing. Yeah,
we're both sitting here with big smiles on our faces, like, you know, happier than Larry, and we really hope that you guys enjoyed it, because it's something that we're going to be talking about for quite some time, because we're buzzing. So yes, please go and check out In Search of Sun. Go listen to all the rest of their stuff. They're a great band. They're an amazing bunch of guys as well. Can't recommend them enough live or their videos. So yeah, please go and check them out, and help support British music. We've talked so much about British bands on this podcast. It's so great, isn't it, to have such a, like, you look at festival lineups at the moment, it's just a plethora of awesome British bands, which is so refreshing, isn't it, to see and just go, all this homegrown talent that's just like popping up all over the place. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome. And one interesting thing is that I don't know, they classed as funk rock. I'm not sure what they sort of say, but it's very funky, which I've not really heard in alternative music before.
Yeah, I mean, Virgin Funk Mother was the name of their album, like, you know, their previous album. Yeah. They definitely have that element in them. You can hear it in Rory's guitar playing. Yeah. And Dave's as well. They've got a real groove. That's what this band have. That a lot of bands are kind of lacking, is that groove. And like you said, when you've got a funky groove, but you've got a funky metal groove, that's when you know you're doing some good shit. You're hitting some fucking Faith No More shit then, and then you're, do you know what I mean? You're on another level. So, but yeah, you can hear that totally, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about before we nod off?
I was wondering how many times Leader would go, oh, I can't fucking do it. You know, the 90s thing that Michael Jackson did is like, ow, yow, or jow. I was wondering how many times Leader would do that in this, but he doesn't do it at all, does he?
No, he doesn't.
He's got a very, very 90s. I don't know if this is going to be a good thing to say or whether it. Oh, wait, you've heard it. You can make your mind up. What I like about it is it makes me think of the 90s. The beginning bit, the intro. Especially with his 90s boy bands as well, with his like, yow, or I'm not sure what it is. Do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
I hope you do. Good.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand totally. But, hey, listen, 90s is back, man. Big time.
Good.
You know, people are looking back on that decade very fondly at the moment. So it's nice that you've got a little bit of an injection of that into music.
I never left.
You just stayed there.
Yeah, I just stayed there.
Some people never left, man. Fuck me. When I walk around Cheltenham now, it is literally like I've stepped. It's like it's 1996 all over again. All these kids are just like, you walk. I'm sure I've said this before on the podcast, but you walk into Urban Outfitters and it looks like the worst bits of the 90s have just thrown up on everyone in there. Like, it's like, you do realise you're wearing the shit, right? That there's a reason why people stop wearing it. It's because you all look like shit. And I do like 90s stuff, but I prefer to combine it with the new stuff rather than just, you know, take a whole step back to the 90s. As much as I enjoyed the 90s, but yeah. Not that we don't remember any of it anyway. We're 25, so
well, yeah, good point. Yeah.
What do we remember about the 90s?
Not
we were only born in 1996.
Yeah.
So what are we saying? What are we saying, mate? We don't know, do we? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I do like the electric stuff, and it reminds me of there's a couple of bands that I quite like actually as well. There's a band called Self Deception, which it made me think of, and another band called Syra it's weird spelling, Cyhra, which who have actually been recently added to the Bloodstock bill. I think they're
Nice.
a Swedish supergroup.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, both of those. If you like them, I think you like this. Or if you like this, then I think you'll like them. But yeah, just so good this song was. I'm just hoping Leader uses, I don't know what they're called, on the front of the album where it has like Metal Hammer 5 stars.
Like a quote.
Yeah, and then it'll be
Dear Download podcast says thrilling stuff.
5 out of 5. Dear Download, 5 out of 5. Like the 90s or something like that. I just use that forever.
Oh, that's great.
The pressure's on, Leader. I can delete this episode if I don't see it. No, it was good. It really was good. And thank you so much for asking us to do this. But yeah, this is our first. Was it a premiere or exclusive?
Yeah, it was a premiere, man. It's a premiere, really. Some people are going to hear it here first before they hear it anywhere else. So yeah, it's definitely a premiere. Yeah,
first one. I feel pretty good. Thank you, Leader. I'm expecting you'll probably listen to this as well, just to hear what we say about you. None of it's bad. But yeah, thank you so much for asking us. And we hope that people enjoy your stuff.
It's a massive honour for us to play this, and anyone that listens to the podcast will know that this is a big deal for us and a big deal for them. So we're just happy to help out. It's great to be involved in the industry, and we always talk about that sort of stuff and helping people out, and we can all help each other in the music industry to get people out there and get things heard. So
yeah,
we're glad to be here and be a part of it. So if you're listening to this, and if you've got anything else that you want us to do, if you want us to review your band or listen to some stuff, me and Adam have been talking about loads of different ideas about listening parties and all sorts of stuff. So we're probably going to come up with some crazy stuff to do in the future. But yeah, until then, Adam, do you want to take us out, or shall I take us out? Or
yeah, no, you can take us out.
Okay. I'm going to take us out for once. So, yes, thank you very much for listening. You can hit us up at all the normal places. We're just Dear Download pretty much everywhere. You can get me on Instagram at Fonzie_Simon. Ad, do you have anywhere people get
I still
you?
Don't do anything.
He stays away from that. Okay,
ever.
cool. That's cool.
Really?
He's good. He's like a hidden dungeon master. It's pretty sick.
Dungeon.
He's a dungeon master. He just hides himself away, man. I love it. But yeah, so thank you very much to the guys in Search of Sun. Thank you very much for listening. So it's a goodbye from Adam.
Yeah, goodbye. Oh, this is weird.
And a goodbye from me. Goodbye. So this is deep. So I'm going to read this out. This is what Adam Leader has to say about the track.
My willy just started feeling really funny, innit?